For more content, please consider subscribing to JTV ASMR. Oh, hey, over here. Hey, it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Of course, I hope you're doing really well. I just got something in my throat right now, and oh boy, I've been perhaps drinking the wrong energy drink once again. I wanted to stock up and kind of, buy myself a whole bunch of energy drinks, make sure that I'm not low at any point. But guess what happens? I ended up buying one of the caffeinated ones and drinking them, and as we all know, that's when I go a little loopy. Yeah, it's stupid. But I'm kind of sound like some kind of drum beat or even like a little funky bass tune in some kind of song that I like to do myself from time to time. It's just fun to do, when I'm waiting or whatever. But anyway, do you still want to, kind of go for a walk around town? I can keep my voice down, of course I can keep it down. Just to make sure that, people don't end up kind of getting the wrong ideas about you or me, or thinking that I'm crazy, or thinking that I'm trying to drag you along. I'm just struggling with caffeine, as I tend to do. I really gotta cut it out of my diet. But then again, the point is I have cut it out of my diet, but then I end up taking something that is caffeinated, and then I go a little bit loopy, a little bit overboard, a little bit totally overwound up, and that is bad because I don't know how to combat that, but it happens by accident anyway, and I don't like it when it happens. Anyway, you want to start walking? You want to start working? I can try and take it slow. Try and take it slow. Kind of tell myself to go slow. Sorry, I'm just kind of going when I'm talking. That just happens. Sometimes I kind of slip over when I talk. It's like my tongue's like an ice skater, and my mouth is ice, and clearly this ice skater of a tongue that I've got is not really very good at what it's supposed to be doing, and that is not slipping over and going. Sorry, it sounds really stupid when I do that. I really do sound like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy, by the way. I'm totally not. I'm just struggling with caffeine. Anyway, so you wanna go walk? Have a walk with me, maybe, hopefully. Yeah? Okay, let's get walking. I'll try and keep my voice down because there's something that I really want to tell you. I know it sounds weird, I know it sounds crazy, but there is really something weird that happened recently. I would love to tell you if you are interested in hearing some of my kooky, crazy stories, which are totally true, by the way. I just want to clarify that it is true. I'll keep my voice down just to make sure no one's listening in and thinking that I'm crazy and jumping out of nowhere going, hey, you're crazy, you're lying. Anyway, recently I went out for a walk. I went out into a, just kind of a stroll in the wilderness, you could say, just out about in the trees and the forest and stuff. And I saw this cave, and I thought, I don't remember walking past this, but I thought might be interesting just to check it out. It's kind of like the caves that I've explored in this other place that I've been to when I use my means of transportation. The one with the sorry, I shouldn't really talk about my secret means of transportation. But anyway, so what happens is that I kind of go up to this cave, and I just kind of like have a look around and stuff, and not actually going in because it looked really scary. I mean, there were bones, there were human bones outside, like little skulls and ribs, and even skulls and pikes. I didn't know if someone did that as just a bit of a joke, like that island with all those dolls around, and then people started putting dolls around as part of some kind of tribute to the person who put the dolls there in the first place, because apparently it was a tribute to a dead relative, and then that person died, and then people just kept adding more and more dolls there just to kind of pay tribute to those fallen people who just passed away, and to kind of keep the angry spirits at bay is what was the original intention as well. I think at least one or the other, or both. I can't quite remember. In any case, so I was getting really bad vibes from this cave with all these bones around. Really weird. And then you never guess what. So I heard about a voice. I heard that there was a voice calling out. Are you like totally listening? By the way, do you believe me? Do you think I'm crazy? Surely you don't think I'm crazy. I mean, I think you have been really smart and really patient and really supportive. And I really hope that you do believe me when I say all of this. You've listened to all the other stuff I've told you, and I've really been grateful. You are such a great friend. I am so glad to have you as a friend. I must say, thank you so much for everything. I'm sorry. Do you want me to continue? Sorry, I tend to go on a bit of a tangent sometimes, but I think you are still a great friend. By the way, you really are. I really do love you as a friend. You know, I love my friends and what little friends I have, and you are definitely number one on my list. I mean, I could probably count them on my fingers, probably one hand. Sorry, I shouldn't talk about that. But yeah, you're amazing. Sorry. Should I continue with the story? You tell me. Okay, yeah, I'll continue. So I went to this cave, the mouth of a cave with all the scary bones on the pikes and scattered around, and then I heard this weird voice. It sounded really spooky, like it sounded like almost kind of like a creature, but at the same time it was kind of charming, kind of captivating, kind of just imagine something in like some kind of Dungeons and Dragons kind of game, or maybe it's like some kind of fantasy podcast where there's kind of like a gravelly creature. It sounds really charming, really nice, but you can tell that something's not quite right about this guy. Something's really weird. Something's off, like an ulterior motive. And that's actually what I was thinking. I was really thinking that because he kept asking me to come inside the cave. And I was trying to tell him, no, I'm fine. And then he started giving me a sob story about that he was cursed and he was trapped in this cave and he's never really had any companionship and would love to make friends. And no one's ever seen him before in person. And he would just love to have someone to kind of be his friend or something like that. I don't know. It sounded weird. I swear he was just making up a story, but I really couldn't tell. And I told him I can't. I was trying to make up excuses. He saw my eyes and he said that my eyes glow, and I think this is really, really interesting. And I saw that his eyes were glowing too, but I didn't want to say that his eyes were glowing. I could actually show his really big teeth. He had these gigantic tusks out of his mouth, and something tells me that he was really not in a good mood for the kind of creature that would call you into a cave and then have a friendly chat, you know, and just treat you to tea and crumpets. No, I don't think this creature was going to do that. I think this creature was honestly going to eat me up for supper. And I'm pretty glad that I never actually went inside, because he kept trying to give excuses after excuses. But I mentioned about the bones outside. I probably shouldn't have done that. And he's trying to pass it off and just say that it was to scare off predators, just to scare off, like, any kind of bad people who were after him. And then he said it was part of the curse, and that, you know, that was just kind of scare people off. But I knew this was not going anywhere. I thought he was trying to move closer to the mouth of the cave. I really wasn't sure, so I just ran away. I just ran as fast as I could, and he was calling out to me, just pleading me to come back, saying to bring some food instead, and apologizing, you know, still yelling at me, but I kept running. I tell you, anxiety is such a kick in the butt when it comes to making me run really, really fast, because I can run really, really fast, and you know. So yeah, I made sure to do that, and I was just trying to get away as far as possible, and just got home, and I just put on the PC and started playing the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, just to kind of like help me calm down. I love that game. Have you played that game before? It is so amazing. I really love that. I really think you might be able to enjoy that one. I think you might be able to be let me think. I think you're intelligent, so I think you could be a high elf. That means That means you have some weaknesses to destruction magic, but it does mean that you'd be able to have like much higher pool of magicka, as it's called. So that way you can cast more spells without the bar going so low and you having to wait, like a really, really long time to cast some more spells or drink potions to get that bar back up or something. But then again, maybe you could be like a Breton. A Breton, you have resistances to magic, and you're still kind of talented in that, but also a nice balance with, with combat as well, hand-to-hand combat and blade blocks and stuff like that. And then again, I think maybe you might enjoy playing as a Khajiit, because Khajiits are sneaky. They make excellent thieves. You can even activate a spell where you can see through in the dark. You can use that as much as you want, but it's also a once-per-day spell where you can scare people off and make them run away. Really good for when you're trying to sneak around and you gotta get someone just out of the way permanently. So, ring, and then they run off, and you can just go, I'm gonna steal this stuff, and no one's gonna stop me now. It's so cool. It's so cool. This game is like a game from my childhood. It's been revamped, made even better. Okay, sorry. I'll just take a moment to breathe. A moment to breathe. Yeah. One more. Speaking of which, but you have been playing any other games recently? I bet you'd be really good at whatever you like to play. What do you think? What do you think? Do you seem like the kind of person you would play lots of games, a lot in your spare time or something like that? Is there any games that you are really good at? Because I bet you are really good at a lot of them. But please do tell me. I'd love to hear. By all means, talk as much as you want. I'd love to hear. So, what games are you really good at? Please tell. Go ahead. Oh, is that so? Well, okay. Well, I like to think personally that I'm probably not the greatest at games. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm a medium difficulty player. Sometimes when I play RTS games, real-time strategy games like Command & Conquer, I prefer to play on medium difficulties because it's like, how to word it? Balanced, that's the word. Nice and balanced. That's balance between everything. Same with things like StarCraft. I like playing StarCraft. Great game, great series. And, well, I think it's just nice and balanced when you just keep it at a reasonable difficulty. So that way, it's daunting at first, but then when you were able to kind of like figure out what to do, then you can finally turn the tables and everything is just so exciting and cool. I'll tell you what. If there's one game that you should definitely play, Dead by Daylight, I tell you what, that's something that we should play together. It is so cool. It is so amazing just being able to run around and get chased by a killer. I remember this time when there was all the other players and they were on the hook, because that's what the killers have to do. They gotta dump them on the hook and then sacrifice them and stuff like that. And I was the last person left. I was actually the last person, and I had to go and escape. So what I meant to do is try to lure the killer into a trap of my own. I know he was trying to lay traps. I think it was the trapper who actually lays little bed traps so you can get your legs stuck or something like that. So anyway, they were chasing after me, and then I meant to stun him, and I meant to sneak around his traps, finally to get away. And one by one, meticulously, I started to unhook the survivors, and managed to do that one by one, got them all out, and then finally got at least 2 of them to join me in repairing a generator, and we finally managed to escape. I was the one who powered the generator, and then I was the one who opened the gate, and then we all ran away. I was trying to chase after the other person, but there was one last person who ended up getting hooked, and I managed to kind of sneak around, get him to a safe place, and pull him off. Finally healed him in the shadows, and we just ran around the map to the other gate and opened that, and yay, we all win. And that killer must have been so ticked off. I was like, nah, loser. It was so funny. I tell you what though, I think you'd be really good at that. Do you think you'd be more like a healer or a repairer or maybe a scout? I don't know. I just think that you would be such a cool partner to play with. We gotta play games sometime. You could be like my co-op buddy. Yeah, you can be my co-op buddy. Just like in real life. You are such a cool person in real life. You are so supportive. It would be so amazing to be able to play with you so much more. You've gotta tell me that. Like anything at all. Whenever there's a time that you want to kind of play co-op or anything like that, please let me know. Or even maybe just co-op in real life. In other words, just, more hanging out, more going out and about and going to places and exploring and stuff like that. And I promise I'll try to make sure not to touch any caffeine, because I know it makes me kind of weird. Yeah, kind of weird, kind of weird, kind of weird. I know it really makes me really cookie crazy. Bananas, you could say. Donkey Kong style bananas. I really gotta get some more bananas. Do you like bananas? I think they're great with peanut butter. Like a microwaved banana with a few blobs of peanut butter and some dry oats tossed on top. It is a great dessert. Really delicious. Perfect for whenever you want to go doing a bit of parkour. That's what I, of course, like to do, as you know. I've been trying to do a bit more parkour recently. I got a grappling hook that I've tried to be kind of upgrade to make sure that it, doesn't break so easily. I almost thought it was going to break last time. I was kind of dangling on it and hoping that it doesn't snap. And thankfully, I was able to hoist myself to the top of the building. And thankfully, no broken bones, no shattered legs or anything like that. But I managed to get to the top. But of course, there was the problem of having to kind of jump from one building to another, because I'm pretty sure that employee on the top there who was smoking a cigarette. I don't like cigarettes. Yuck. Absolutely disgusting habit. Anyway, he was pretty shocked about how I got up there in the first place, and I explained, I was just climbing, and he looked really crazy, so I had to get out of there as soon as possible, because I thought he was going to call the police, so I immediately just threw my grappling hook into another side of another nearby building, just jumped on that and started climbing, and I think he kind of was just staring at me like, wow, this dude's actually serious? Is he crazy? And oh, I'm sorry. That really was a crazy time. Oh, my head. Oh, I'm getting a headache. Oh, the caffeine's finally wearing off. Oh, I was embarrassing myself again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Oh, dear. I better go and get some painkillers. Yeah. I'm really sorry when this happens. You probably think I'm the biggest dork in the world, and you probably don't want to be my friend, and Oh. You really mean that? I mean, well, I am very glad that you really mean that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was pretty stupid not paying attention to what I was buying and bought the caffeinated version again. Oh, this headache is like someone's taking a chunk of my brain and tying it into a knot. I'm sorry. I think I should probably just go to the store over there. Tell you what. You go ahead, and I can try and catch up if need be. I'm pretty quick after all, but I'll just quickly nip over this way to get myself some ibuprofens. If you want to chill nearby or not, it's your choice, but yeah, this is really hurting. Again, I'm really sorry. I'll make it up to you. Do you want a snack from the shop? Maybe a cake? Or a sandwich? Fizzy drink? Anything? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's the least I can do to apologize for going crazy again. All right, then. Well, I'll be back soon. So, yeah. See you in just a moment. Oh, man. Yeah. Don't get tired yet, Dub.